Certainly. I've been working with a friend. That's his job is essentially it's a complex series of program development. And he's been using Devon AI along with Cursor for his job, and he figured, what happens, or could I actually take this setup that I have in my current business and actually pull over or create a variety, something different at home with more common tools that are available to all of us. And so he essentially, that's essentially what he did. And so the setup is essentially free. Unfortunately, I use free in quotes because it uses Gemini. And so if that's put behind a paywall, then it's no longer free. But it's development with Godot or Godot, and it uses yeah. Or so I know there's sometimes a fight over that, and then it uses VS Code, which has an extension for the Gemini, Python for additional functionality, and Gitea for a local hosted version control that's similar to Git. There's more systems, but those are the basic kind of core features. And so essentially, you can type in using the assistant, I want X. Now it could be, I want a background with a blue sky and clouds moving across it, and whatever game mechanics, and it will add it. Now, it takes a bit of configuring, and I don't have anything concrete. I have something very basic, but I'm just not ready to show it off just yet. But essentially, without even knowing C# or any other code, you can get a game running. And right now, it's just very basic. But I've also been able to use AI to create an ADR, architectural design record document, which I can then boil down or break out into components. And my hope is to be able to feed that iteratively to the AI within VS Code and be able to essentially design a game from the ground up, folder structure and all, and have each one of those changes uploaded or to the local host Gitea version control. And so if anything breaks or if anything that I decide to change just doesn't pan out, I can always go back to that previous version. So far the system is working tremendously. It's great. There's like absolutely no flaws. It's kind of groundbreaking that I don't even have to touch or know any code, and I can deploy or have this game created in seconds. So what could take hours and a lot of bug fixing now takes 30 minutes, and most of that 30 minutes is, oh, do I want the sky to be this color of blue, this shade of blue? So it's great, and I hope to flesh it out more, and I can show you guys later like how far this rabbit hole goes, or like how far down we can go down this rabbit hole, but it's very promising. And that's it. Any questions?
As the complexity increases.
That is definitely
But
a concern of mine.
but
And
the
to address
AI keeps getting smarter, and at some point it will be able to reconcile all of that potentially.
well,
And then
no,
it will
no,
be
no,
talking
Hey,
wait.
a couple of
Hold
years
on, guys.
ago, people would think,
Please hold on. So, to address that is a very important aspect of this that I was really concerned about. So, what I have not mentioned, and again, this is a very complex system. There's a lot of setup, but essentially, there's components that you can set up. Essentially, markdown documents, and one of those markdown documents is the project structure. And there's another with the ADR. There's essentially, as the AI is going through the components iteratively, and it's adding components, it's adding modules, it's adding folders, it's updating these. And so as you want to add a new component, or maybe you want to edit an old component, it can actually reference these documents and these structures. And so that way it actually keeps a very organized list for not only the developer to reference. Okay, where are these shaders kept? Where are these particular modules for? I don't know, if you're making an extraction shooter. Where is the extraction data, or are the rooms for the if it's a map? Where are the rooms kept? And so that's kept in Markdown for reference for the developer, but it's also there that the AI can reference, and then that makes it very easy to go into those sections, not only for the developer, but for the AI, and say, oh, okay, this is how we have it structured. Let's change the structure. And it will go through the entire document with some speed, through the entire project with some speed, and correct those and update those documents accordingly. And so far, it's done a tremendous job at documenting, commenting all the changes, not only in the code, but also within the Markdown documents. So it's very easy now, and I see it being very user friendly when it comes to as the game gets more and more complex. There will be these almost links back to the components that it can reference that will keep it user friendly for not only the AI but also for the developer.
so it sounds to me like the same way humans manage complexity. You break it down into modules, and then you have APIs. These are the surface level interfaces between the points. And so the AI doesn't have to manage everything all at once, the same way the human brain can't manage everything all at once. You break things down into this thing does this thing does that, and here is how they communicate between themselves, and makes it manageable.
Very much so, and it's only getting better.
It also sounds like it also sounds like it's overcoming some of the limitations one would have with context, because eventually if you give an AI a whole bunch of context, it'll eventually actually start forgetting stuff. So by
Yeah,
relying on
it gets
external
overwhelmed.
files and loading those up every time it's relevant, it's giving the AI a refresher. It's like, hey, remember this? It has the color blue. Don't make it the color green.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
for those of us who are
Is
using
that right?
AI heavily, that's something you're already doing. It's like here's the skeleton. So after a certain point in time, you re-upload the skeleton and just reiterate to it. Now, just to refresh yourself, here's what we're working with, because we don't want you going too far into the hallucination territory, and then you just realign it back to here's what here are the cool here's the well, I keep saying skeleton because skeleton then meat then skin, it's a metaphor for building things out. So here's the skeleton, keep to that. Yeah, so yeah, the future sounds great for air quotes AI slop.
I hate. I don't want to. I don't want to be what is it, Nadella from Microsoft, and saying don't call it slop, because I think a lot of things that Microsoft does is slop, and a lot of things
Oh.
that a lot of companies are doing is slop. But this is definitely whereas before I was a heavy AI critic, but this has definitely created has been
Now you're a
created.
heavy AI critic.
This has been laid out in such a way that it's very useful, or I see it being exceedingly useful to manage complex projects in the future for small teams of people. So this might be a game changer for our group in terms of game development. Even if we only want to use it to keep track, even if we only want to have it keep track of essentially the structural changes for people to review. So it's tremendous, really.
But to me, it does seem that what is it in terms of the I don't want to say the life cycle of the tool, but whenever there is a new thing that comes out, even Photoshop, the first few years is partly a period of growing pains, mainly due to the software itself, and also people's expectations of it. Like as you said, most people tended to think that AI would just be a one-stop shop for a whole game or a whole project or a whole art piece. But where it excels at is if you constrain it really tightly to one specific area, then the bot can actually refine that one area. So to me, it does seem that we're finally learning the actual rules on how to use AI properly, instead of trying to have it be a fix-all solution.
Definitely. And so to expand upon, I wish I could give a name to my friend. I haven't cleared it with him. If I would like to bring him into this group. I think it would be very enlightening for everyone just to be able to share our information back and forth. But so he's before he was a manager, and he had a group of interns, entry-level programmers under him. His entire company has shifted to a point they no longer have interns, they no longer have entry-level programmers. It is all managers. It's all individuals with decades and decades of experience, normally managing people, but now essentially all they're doing are managing AI agents. They give them instructions, they walk away from their computer, and the AI completes the tasks and submits a request to review it. The managers, the individuals, can review those tasks, see if they meet all the requirements. They even have an AI system that will comb their directories and directives and make sure that the items that were created do not violate their directives. For example, if they're creating a payroll structure and they don't want to have bank accounts and things exposed publicly, this other AI, now this particular one's called Cursor, will scan the documents against the directives. We'll scan the new code against the directives and see if it exposes any information that should not be exposed, and then it will remove that. So there's it's really come down to where people will still be involved with AI and with these structures, but it'll be like managers assigning a task to an intern or an entry-level programmer, but in this case, it'll be an AI agent. They'll review the code, or they should review the code, and then approve it. And then it goes into a test environment. It's tested, sometimes by other AIs, and then it's finally put in, it's finally delivered. So, yeah, it's a very interesting.
Entry-level programmers is why I can't find a job.
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms for the future of people in humanity.
Cooper, log that for a subject for the next week or the next chat.
But what do we do with the new job market? Very good question. What happened with the last time this happened?
Well, I'll just say start your own company.
Basically, yeah. What did happen the last time? Was it the Industrial Revolution? I think we just had a bunch of Industrial Revolution. What was the thing that caused the Luddites revolts?
What? The automobile and buggy whips.
I think it was, yeah. So they basically needed to find. Where did those guys go into? Like, what other work did they go into?
Well, they learned. Well, I was going to say they learned how to code, but that's obviously an outdated reference at this point. But it's when the
I know what you
landscape
mean.
changes, you adapt.
It's a big topic that honestly it gets way too complicated the more you think about it, because it is basically we're in a paradigm shift. We don't know what's coming
ask an AI
after
to
the
boil it
paradigm
down
shift.
for you.
Mm.
If it gets too complex, ask an AI to boil it down for you.
No. Fine, I will. You lazy bum. Excuse me. Oh,
Is this
God.
true?
I'm the best kind of coder. I'm a lazy coder. I'm always looking for ways to not do the work.
Oh, God. He looks so pretty.
Yeah, because in the modern day and age, who wants to write reactive website code that can work? But is this going to be seen on a 4K screen, or is this going to be seen on a mobile? On which browser with what CSS? Mm-hmm. Yep. And then you need to account for holidays. And nowadays, but was that more than 6 months ago? Because 6 months, AI is going to do a better job because it's continually evolving. I keep trying to go back to AI, just image generation. Could do fingers, could not do hands, could not do fingers. Fast forward 6 months, 12 months, however long, now it does fingers just fine. It just keeps getting better and so you've just got to.
It's getting trained.
Yeah, it's almost like it's learning.
Eh.
Oh, maybe pull out my.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Can we just?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't bring back the ones you laid off. You bring in the people who understand how to prompt AI successfully. Because it's yeah, it's well, it's a bit more meta. But at the end of the day, it's how to get the job done. And when it comes to AI, you need to understand how to prompt. If you want a consistent result, you need to know how to give it the skeleton, the references, the things that say keep keep it in this style, keep it this way, and that is what differentiates it from the normal folk who are just like, oh, this is just a do my homework button thing. Because it's like Photoshop
Fascinating
filters.
if a new
There's,
coding language developed around prompting AI.
well, I mean, that already exists. It's natural language. It's just you need to know how to tell it with the understanding of how it passes what you tell it. Hmm. Well, I have I have an old joke. I have an old joke. How do useless people get through life? They manage.
Well, I've actually seen exactly what you're talking about because back in it was late 2019, early 2020, I worked for a big financial firm and they were implementing AI into their lockbox operations. You know, that's like handling sensitive financial data. And what they ended up doing is they ended up firing all of their temps through all the temp agencies and stuff because they're like, oh yes, we're going to an AI system. Haha, we don't need you. And now, 2026, not only are they asking people back, they're asking them for $20 an hour. And when they fired them, they were only paying them like 14.
I love management.
It's
I love them so
some
much.
little night operation. This is a big worldwide financial operation, and this happened to them. So naturally, it's going to happen to everybody else in a few years.
Sounds about right.
It does bother me that pretty much everybody here, because I work at a fairly low-level job, and I experience managers like that as well. I'm legitimately afraid how much they have permeated the whole of society. They are everywhere, and I'm afeared now. I'm afeared.
Yeah, well,
as
the old guy, I'm just gonna say, oh yeah, I grew up on fucking Dilbert. I'm looking at my shelf. I'm seeing how to build a better life by stealing off the supply. Yeah, no. The solution is start your own company, be a consultant, charge lawyer rates, and sooner or later, if you know what you're doing, they're going to be begging for you to solve their problems because
that is assuming they are smart enough eventually to come to that conclusion. Because my upper management definitely have the policy of don't talk to the old guys.
If they don't, then they atrophy and go out of business. And someone new will come along.
Ubisoft? What?
Ubisoft, what? Probably Ubisoft. But yeah, like I know what you mean, because the average person, if it goes down like it did in my company, will be thrown into a role they have no training for. They basically have some documentation that is half outdated, half overcooked, to the point
where
we don't
have time to work on the documentation.
Yeah, and like unless you're somebody who just like reverse engineers the whole work process to make it something that isn't insane, yeah, the company's gonna suffer a lot.
Mm-hmm. And as one of those people who could reverse engineer things, they eventually say, "Oh, okay, everything's working right now, so here's your redundancy payout. See ya."
From an employer point of view, I can sort of understand that. Like, okay, you saved us like half the work time, but that was a year ago. Do we really want to keep you? It's like
half.
It's a bold strategy. It's a bold strategy.
It's the point of view of people who rose above their capabilities.
Yeah,
because the stereotype is people who can do the job don't typically have the ability to sell why you should keep me because they're too busy being nerds focused on doing what they do. And
yeah, I do agree. The social aspect of employment more often than not is more valuable than the actual technical aspect. If you can network, you're going places. If you can make friends, you've got people in there, you got your foot in the door.
Yeah.
You don't have to get filtered by HR.
You can be the EA boss who fails and then gets hired by Unity and then fails and then goes on to the next six-figure job constantly on the basis of what's your work history? Well, I failed at this and I failed at that, but for some reason you're going to keep hiring me because something. Or they're just what I call it, bullshito, the art of bullshit. It's just like the art of the art of being able to present yourself as, oh, I'm totally the right guy for this job because bullshit skills, just talking a big game, and you're talking the big game to other people on the same useless level that don't also understand how to do the job, so they don't know any better, so they go, oh, this guy sounds like the guy for the job, sure, hire him, blah blah blah. And before AI, it's like, oh, we're going to go with agile. Agile is the new big thing. We're all going to do agile and stand-up meetings, and that's what we're all doing now. It's just a constant stream of the latest, greatest fad. Meanwhile, the actual engineers are just like, can you just let us do our fucking jobs?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we've gotten kind of, and they're kind of interwoven, getting stuck on this whole manager issue, or people are
Yes,
going to be
tangent.
horrible. And the reality is, there's always going to be those individuals that they have several rakes on the ground, and they don't know how to use them, and they step on them in the face, and then it's like, well, I'll just take a step in another direction. Then they get hit in the face with another rake. So we're going to have
to religion.gif.
Yeah, we're going to have, unfortunately, it's humanity. We're going to have people stepping on rakes and winning Darwin Awards. So with AI, there's definitely going to be a lot of issues, a lot of growing pains. But I think there's a lot of potential here. And I think that for the enterprising individuals, there's going to be a lot of opportunity, even when there's going to be some job losses and a restructuring of society in general.
Oh, definitely. Because do you remember?
Start your own company. It's
yeah,
painful,
like
but it's worth it.
on that topic.
If you don't like
Do you
your
remember
bosses, be your own
was it
boss.
the council? Yes. So PewDiePie, I don't know if you follow him still. He has made himself a council of AI robots that run locally. And I'm sitting here just wondering, okay, if you make a...
Are they all on a bridge?
Oh, I don't know the details. All I know is that they talk to each other and are like, okay, with your powers combined, robot monkey from... I'm just thinking like, okay, this might actually help run the business. If you can figure out how to set yourself up a few bots to talk to each other. And it's just text-based stuff, so it's not as intensive as image generation.
If it's your own thing, then you can succeed or fail based on what you believe in instead of what some useless manager twats believe in. But as for the bridge, I was referring to PewDiePie's meme cancel moment where he dropped a certain word on a certain bridge.
Oh, that one! Yeah, no, the council doesn't have anything to say about the bridge. God, you think like it would? There were so many other moments, but no, we'll get off into the woods at that rate.
Okay, well,
yes, okay, I apologize.
We'll have to move on.
But funny as fuck.
I'm an idiot because I just realized that the entire
that's about when I started actually appreciating him instead of just being like, oh, he's just one of them YouTubers squealing at videos for...
Yeah.
It was very much a watershed moment on my part. Like, oh, wow. So some YouTubers I really should not have trusted. That was a mistake.
So,
oh,
I need to confess something. I made a mistake with the stream, and my microphone did not go into the stream. It's been going into Discord.
Oh, no, not again.
The stream.
Oh,
that's all right. These things happen, Mr. Cooper.
Yeah, I know.
Literally, I have a Dead Space 3 stream with my buddy. Yeah, he didn't know how to... He forgot his mic was off the whole time.
Okay, so let's move on to our next topic, which is representation and its consequences. And Monkey, take it away.
Oh God! So I would like to begin this.
Doing a playtest.
playtests are going viral?
Yeah, we maybe can do that later, but right now, like, we've got a bunch of topics, conversation topics that we're going on.
Yeah.
But if you want to download the going viral Linux version, go ahead and set it up, and we can probably play it in the background. You can stream it and we'll play it in the background.
Share your screen.
Yeah. So, Monkey, what were you talking about?
So I would have to regrettably begin this by saying the SJWs were right. Representation is important, and not for the reasons they were talking about. I say this just because in modern games we have different diversity or in skin color, whatever, but fundamentally each of the characters is the same person, just in a different game, in a different skin, in a different story. So what's being represented is just the same ideology, the same story. It gets to the point where, what was it? The Killmonger haircut became like a symbol of this. Like, if you saw a character have that, you knew they were just like the token Wakanda character. And not even the token black, just token Wakanda. But in regards to when representation was good back in the old days, you could pick any game. God, we'll go with like Mass Effect or whatever, which had a wide variety of different cultures that were present, and how was it represented by the different aliens, the different philosophies. So Solarians being the scientists that just try to be as logical as they can be, but also very fast paced and not emotionally dead, but just process emotion quicker. Then there's the Krogan, who are very warlike and barbaric. Then there's the Turians, which are warlike but not barbaric. And they have their own thing.
The Solarians genocided the Krogans, but meanwhile.
Details. Wasn't complete yet, just said details. But yeah, you see what I mean? You got in Mass Effect, you have whole different points of view, whole different philosophies represented there. Granted, in the form of aliens, but like fundamentally, they show different ways of life that you could ask questions of. Whereas in the modern day, we just get the same thing. It's the woke stuff over and over. Just repeat it.
Genuine diversity versus forced diversity.
Yeah, and I think back in the day, I don't think the woke crowd understood that or weren't allowing themselves to understand that like the actual diversity of thought and opinions, and they legitimately just saw it as skin deep.
Yeah, no,
so diversity isn't really
about thought. Diversity isn't about thought or opinion. It's about labels and skin colors.
Yeah, I mean the cool thing about Star Trek was that each alien was basically a few bits of different plasticine on the face, and they had it. The rest of the diversity was made up with completely different cultures, which made it really entertaining.
And something like the interactions between the cultures as well. Like whenever I forgot the name of the Klingon because I'm a tourist. Worf, yeah. But every time Worf had to be called into the warp room, everybody. I can't remember the scene, but the guy calling him was just like sort of smiling a bit, like, "Yo, Worf, get down here. We need you." So, like, Officer Worf to teleporter bay. Officer Worf to teleporter bay. You could tell, okay, Worf is the guy you call when things have gone out of hand, and he will sort it out. and that was nice because you
using him as the guy that to establish that something was extremely badass. The first thing they'd do would be to punch out Worf.
Yeah, but yeah, that would be my
the war for something.
Yeah, that would be my thesis on representation and why actually, yes, it is important. Simply because we are currently lacking a lot of it, a lot of actual representation as well, due to the current state of things.
A lot of these characters that they create, they're kind of like their personalities are kind of empty shells. They're kind of like I don't know. It's like It's like that,
There's
you know,
no diversity
typical
of
female
thought.
power fantasy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. The pair of pants for the reader to put on and insert. They're self-inserts effectively, as bland as possible, so you can insert yourself in as possible. I could gripe about the issues it's caused via casting choices, because these days, when are you ever going to get a bad guy who is black that is just a bad guy? There's no ulterior motive. They're just evil.
Yeah.
And consequently, when you're going to get a good white guy that isn't like servile in some way.
Yeah, you get that.
Do
You
you
used to get that in the
Well,
90s. You got that with
Yeah.
the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie, where Kingpin was played by what's his name, Michael Clark Duncan.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Had,
it.
Rest in
you
peace.
had that. There was another movie that was just. Well, no, we're actually getting that in the Netflix One Piece adaptation, because there are black villains in that. There are black villains in that. There are white heroes. The female like Nami, she's not OP'd and she doesn't take front and center. There are some bits where she does, but it's actually pretty well done. That was one of the things that I thought we could talk about, because I actually think it's pretty well done, and I'd strongly recommend watching it. But so it is happening in some places, but it's not happening. A lot of places it's not happening. You're right. It is just the white guy bad, black guy good.
So I can
okay.
think of a TV show with a strong white male protagonist who is clearly the good guy. But are there any shows where there's a black black antagonist who is the unapologetic bad guy? And I'm not going to say evil, because storytelling, no one ever thinks themselves as evils. But is there
There's
what
Luke
are
Cage.
current shows?
Luke Cage.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy.
No.
I'm asking about black bad guys.
What I'm saying is the bad guy in Luke Cage is black. Like in the first season, a black man is the bad
lighter
guy.
shade of black.
And in the second season of Luke Cage, the villain was a black woman.
An albino. Oh, sorry, I just remember the albino black guy.
That's a cop out. No, that's fine. But yeah, I know it takes like roughly 4 years, because that's usually the development cycle for movies and TV shows, for things to actually start changing. But as you mentioned with One Piece, I have noticed there was some complaints about the casting, but overall it's been relatively all right.
Yeah.
So some things have been a bit weird when they try to adapt them. I don't know Hippo Man. I don't know who Hippo Man is. He confuses me.
One of the less sucky Netflix adaptions.
Yeah. So
It's weird though. Why not just cast a male? I don't fully understand. Like Kobe's a male. He's not a.
No,
anyway.
I think he. I'll take a look at it.
You
I think
get that DIE funding.
Yeah, but I think he's biologically male, but the thing is, the kid they've got playing him actually does play the character pretty well. But it would not surprise me at all to hear that he's not trans at all, but puts it on for the DEI funding. But he's doing a really good job as Cody. He's a pretty decent actor.
Is Kobe? Hang on. But like that is it the same actor as? Are we talking season 1 or season 2? Because in season 1 it was. So it's the same.
It's the same actor. He does look like he's put on a bit more weight though since season 2. Since season 1,
yeah.
The actor does look like he's put on a bit more weight.
It's definitely not a biological male, but the character should be. Is what I mean.
Oh,
which is in the anime, in the manga, etc.
Yeah.
So,
but like, I just don't get why it was necessary.
I don't know.
Like, why couldn't you?
I
In
think
particular,
to be honest, if I was a casting agent and I saw that particular kid, and I'd say, okay, yep, you're Cody or Kobe, whatever it is, but so I would say you're that, right? Because it fits he fits the character. You can play the character properly. So, but I don't think that would have been a hire on DEI. I mean, they probably hired him in, like, because he says, "Oh, I'm transgender" or whatever.
Well, no.
They probably hired him partly because
you said if you were doing it. So if you were doing it, you would have still cast that character. It wouldn't have been because of that.
Because he fits
Exactly.
the character, right? So they probably also cast him to get the DEI funding as well. But I think maybe One Piece is just a case where they did the woke casting in that respect, but they still hit the mark because they still got somebody who could play the role, right? But
like,
what was that?
I think it's a super good quality show. Like, I think it's a great quality show. Like, it takes like hundreds of episodes of manga and condenses it down into a very digestible format. It just throws me off whenever I see.
You said like, episodes. You meant issues. Issues of manga, episodes of anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've tried watching the anime and I can't sit through it. But going back to the current topic, I think they still did some woke casting, but at least they still got it there. But the consequences of all the diversity and representation and everything is you end up, for example, when they hired who was the chick who did the Eternals, right?
The what?
The director.
Eternals.
That to me sounds like a DEI hire, and they ended up.
Eternals?
Yeah, and they ended up with a really, really shit movie. And the other thing, the consequences.
Louis Zhao was the director for the Eternals. Yeah, I don't remember much fanfare for the Eternals when they came out.
And also, lest we forget
I'm like, that's a Marvel thing?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They made a movie about that?
Yes.
Yeah. And lest we forget the plane crash where luckily nobody died, but
I just read 20 comics at least a week, but Eternals movie? I guess never.
Yeah. No. But also, like I was saying just then, lest we forget the plane crash where it was a woman co-pilot or woman main pilot.
She's in jail now.
What?
It was okay. The one that lived. Okay, yeah, that narrows it down.
Yeah, the one that lived. It happened just a couple of years ago where like the wings fell off and it rolled and nobody was killed, nobody was seriously injured, and they walked away. But the woman was actually, the pilot was actually seen on TikTok being like, "Oh, I'm a diversity hire" and all this shit.
Oh wow.
I mean, like the last couple of days, front page news. She's in jail now.
Let me just look up tickets for yacht rides. Was it ferry rides to the US? I'm not flying anymore.
Or speaking of who's in jail, anyone ever hear of that New Zealand? In New Zealand, there was a woman who was made captain of a woman who was promoted to admiral and put in charge of one of their battleships, one of New Zealand's only battleships, and
no, because New Zealand is a made-up country. It doesn't exist, mate.
No, seriously, and she ended up sinking one of their battleships, and hang on, New Zealand.
You cannot keep substituting reality with your own delusions. That's not fair. You gotta teach me how to do that.
Is this the one that got wedged across the shipping lane? and blocked the entire trade for like days and days.
That was a woman?
Yeah, and check this out. Hang on, let me share.
This is doing very bad things for my levels of misogyny. I hope you realize.
Some woman cock-blocked an entire shipping lane, and it turned out she was a.
This
it was the strait that goes up through Africa, and she managed to wedge sideways.
That's the admiral.
Oh wait, don't they call those things a strait? That would obviously explain why she objected to it.
That would explain it. God damn it.
Watch this, guys. I'm gonna drift across this strait.
Okay, so let's I'll read the article.
So that's a different one to this one. That's crazy.
Bugger off, Poso.
Poso.
So New Zealand has lost its first naval ship since World War II after the HMNZS Manawanui crashed into the reef, caught fire, and sank off the coast of Samoa. Commander Yvonne Gray, a British lesbian, was in charge of the $100 million ship at the time of the disaster, which generated environmental concerns about the ship's oil contaminating local reef and the sea habitat. Authorities launched an investigation into the failure and said it was the first unintentional sinking of a New Zealand naval vessel since World War II. And this is the one who sunk it. And I remember...
And they trust them with
boats, they're waiting to be sunk.
Yeah.
Just let me pilot the boats. I could do a better job.
Gray appeared to champion diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. In a 2003 Facebook post, she posed for a photo aboard a ship and wrote the caption, "A great team requires time, effort, and recognition that everyone brings something valuable. No room for exclusion, no room for bullying."
I disagree. I think bullying is what makes it all work.
Yeah.
Toxic not toxic. What they call toxic masculinity is proven people can get shit done, be hard.
Wait, I found... So the one I was talking about was the 2021 Suez Canal obstruction. And there's a hilarious picture which I'm going to send in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But yeah, in all seriousness, how much time in a goddamn simulator would it take to train up any one of us to not do that?
Probably, I don't know, 2-3 days of hard boot
Yeah,
camp.
it would be that hard.
Yeah. It's not like... That's the problem. That's the problem is... And this is
devil's advocate, you don't know how hard these jobs are until you do them. But you can look at the stats of people who have consistently done them, and then the stats of people who have fucked it up. And causation is not, or causality, or whatever the...
Yeah, correlation does not equal causation and all that. I'm just saying, I have enough autism to make it work.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I guess that you've got those consequences there, and so this is speaking as somebody who was bullied in school. Looking back on it, you realize, it's kind of like the world is dangerous. The world's threatening. There are lots of very dangerous things. Bullying is a way of exposing you to those dangerous things in a closed environment.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I remember once my mum was saying, I don't understand why in the army they just yell at people and they just scream at people and they bully you and they do this and they do that. And I'm like, well, if you can't handle that, what makes you think you can handle sniper fire?
Yeah,
pretty much.
It teaches you to harden the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's important not to be desensitized to certain things, otherwise you can't do the job properly. In hell, have you seen... So, separate tangent. You know horses?
Yeah.
They're very skittish creatures. They don't like loud noises. So how in the ever-loving hell do you get a horse to do horse racing? It's very simple. When it gets to a certain age, you just start yelling around it. you just make loud noises, and eventually the horse gets desensitized to loud noises, and it's like, oh, that's happened. Moving on with my day.
That is far better than the thing that came to my mind, which was donkeys in Vietnam.
I dread to think with that. Oh god, but yeah, the army is like one of the more extreme examples of the case. Like, yeah, you're gonna need to be able to handle a lot of stress for a long time in the army. Yeah, and it's going to suck. It's going to be boring. Yeah. You better be able to handle it.
Embrace the suck. You need people who aren't going to go, oh, but where's my fucking nail polish and why can't I wear my hair this certain kind of way? It's because...
Actually, caveat, devil's advocate.
Oh, yeah?
There are women who do construction jobs.
Oh, yeah.
They are nothing like these women. They are nothing like them. They are legitimately just one of the lads.
When I used to work in hardware, whenever we saw a girl builder, it was like, holy crap, she's so hot. It was actually...
They are, though!
Something about it was really attractive.
Yeah, and I'm willing to bet they were actually really nice, too.
They were!
I grew up in a family that ran tourism buses in the middle of Australia, so through the red fucking desert, and two of our best drivers were females, and they were just badass, because they weren't, oh, la-di-da, let me Instagram, blah, 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 take my... No, they were just there to do the job, and they were hardcore. The gender doesn't define whether or not you can do the job.
Yeah,
the personality.
And that's probably one of the consequences of the whole DEI representation thing, is it takes away the filter, which would have let them through and kept out all the whiny little crybabies who just want a virtue signal.
Well,
yeah, as you say, there's definitely a personality type for certain roles that are male-dominated. I mean, it's a well-known fact that the women who joined the army willingly, knowing full well what they're getting into, are a very special kind of woman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, best guys.
And a very rare
man.
It's got to the point in stories where it's like you can predict how it's going based on the like you can predict events based on the casting. So like, you know, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and there's the black female Sith, and you're like, oh no, she's gonna be, you know, she's gonna be a sympathetic character, and it's like, oh great, and then lo and behold, yeah, she becomes this supposedly sympathetic character, but she's still kind of retarded. So it's like, no, this doesn't work as a show.
Yeah, like, that's what I meant when it was like typecasting everyone. Like, literally, it's
the white man has to kill themselves as well, apparently, because that's a thing that has to happen in every show. It's really weird.
One thing I will say though about Obi-Wan is, like a lot of the series was shit, but the part where Obi-Wan and Darth Vader are fighting and Obi-Wan knocks off Darth Vader's helmet, that was actually a very, very good scene. That was a real tearjerker. Especially when like Ewan McGregor really pulled that off. He's like, I am sorry for all of it. That was really good. So I guess
So a scene with a strong white male versus a strong tall white male voiced by a strong black male.
Yeah, exactly. See, I couldn't take it seriously after they face off, and then Obi-Wan just books it off screen. I was like, what's going on? What's happening? It's like they're facing off, and Obi-Wan's just like, nope. Just runs away. I was like, come on, man. You built me up to this. I mean, compare it to the fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul in the animation. That was awesome. Because it was like, because Darth Maul, he goes for the same move that killed Qui-Gon, and like, Obi-Wan just dismantles it immediately and kills him, and it's just like, whoa, he's been training for this, you know. And it was the swiftness of it was amazing.
And that sounds like good fucking storytelling.
Yeah.
From
Dave Filoni, no less.
So representation. Representation as an idea is bullshit. you have media, you have stories, you tell stories, you have characters, and it doesn't matter what those characters look like. You just write them well and make them be awesome, and then people will like them. You've got Ripley in Aliens, strong badass female chick. You've got Hondo in SWAT, strong badass black male guy. You've got everything in everything which is written well, it's good, that people love, and then you've got all the quote unquote diversity for the sake of diversity shit, which everyone hates because it's obviously just bullshit badly written, and no one, a certain subset of people, I'm air quoting, like it, but it's not going to be remembered the same way. Like, when was Ripley in Aliens? That was like 82. That's like
78.
Actually,
40, 50 years ago. No, Aliens. Sorry, Alien 2, Aliens. The second one. That was like 72 or no.
Do you know what I
82.
No, that was mid 80s, early 80s.
Do you know what I think it boils down to is Larry Fink going, you have to force behaviors. That's what I think it kind of boils down. I don't think anyone thinks any of this shit actually works. I just think they have to do it to get these big BlackRock loans.
Yeah,
which, you know, but I mean, the world
so
doesn't run
that works. That works in the short term, but it ain't going to be remembered fondly by history.
Yeah, it's basically the GameStop thing of like, we can remain retarded longer than you can remain solvent. It's kind of the mindset we've taken with it. It's like, no, I'm not watching any of this silly shit, you know.
Yeah,
which mostly might explain why. Like, was it? I don't know how out of the loop I am at this point, but it has meant the message is just gone more and more alien to me every time I see it. It's I don't have a better way of putting it. It's more like a failed idea that has been tripled down on. I've left like 4 or 5 years ago, come back, they're still doing it, only it's reached its logical conclusion, and it's just mental.
And they're doubling down. So, I said before there was a strong white male protagonist. I'm talking Reacher, the TV series.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
Is fucking awesome. It's
great. However, even that fell victim of the race swapping, because that sidekick.
I don't know the source material, so
see, I didn't, but I had a feeling the moment I saw like how the character was treated. I was like, I bet that was a white character originally, and it was, but in the show they basically lynch her and she's a black character, and there's very racist overtones, and it's like, I don't think this is how the source material, you know. And then I researched in it, and it was the case that she was like a redhead. So it's always the redhead.
Even worse.
They gotta go.
I have no like.
First they come for the redheads.
On the topic of the redheads, I am friends with some people who are very much on the woke side of it, and they definitely do see it kind of backwards. I guess is a good way for me to put it. Like, instead of the redhead being, well, just turned black, like race swapped, they see it as, oh, they were always a token redhead. Like, the redhead was just a token there, and I'm like,
devil's advocate. You can do whatever you want to redheads because they have no souls.
Point. But yeah, I just found that as an interesting observation. Like, so that's what the other side sees it as. Like, oh, there were tokens anyway, so it doesn't matter.
It's weird. It's like, Mary Jane's not a token, you son of a bitch.
They were tokens. But we love the minorities.
Do redheaded women count as minorities?
I would say so. Have you seen the numbers?
It's a recessive gene. They're going to be bred out.
That's a weird one, because I don't know if it is technically a recessive gene. Like, it's one of those where I don't. I think it should have. I think it's one of those where it can stay in the bloodline for ages, and then the right combo comes out, and it reappears. But
well, I'm not a biologist, so recessive might be the wrong word, but it's a non-dominant gene.
I think I think it's more complicated than we were told on the recessive and dominant genes. I don't know. Otherwise, I think they would have been bred out by now. But
you can be a carrier of a redhead.
Yeah, I thought that's kind of how it worked. Like, because of how genes can skip a generation, I always thought, okay, what if they skip multiple generations? Like, what if, as you say, you have a recessive gene in your genome, and it doesn't really become a problem until down the line, one of your descendants has a kid with somebody who also has it, and it pops up.
It doesn't become a problem until one of your kids is trying out for a Hollywood role.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's like, sorry, Bob, I didn't get it. They went for the black girl.
Why'd they go for the black girl? Did they have jungle fever? No.
I thought it was a sure thing.
I like redheads, so I'll do my part to keep them alive.
Yeah, redheads are great. Yeah. It is a weird world. Oh. Yeah, I do think it all goes back to fucking Larry Fink. I don't know.
But recently,
I don't actually know who Larry Fink was.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be why I've heard of him.
Recently, he's been sort of flipping on a lot of this stuff, and like I remember he was saying, saying some anti-immigration stuff, talking about more nationalist ideas and things like that. So it may be he's trying to push it in a certain direction, or he's a fair weather friend just like everyone else. And
there's your point, because he's rich enough that he's not what Holly Valance say, when you're young, well, not her just, but when you're young, you lean left, and when you get old and have some money, you lean right. He's got so much money that doesn't explain it, so he's just goes where the wind blows.
Yeah.
And the wind is blowing back against all the wokey shit.
Yeah,
he's got our money. That was the craziest thing about that, is how it was like our retirement money that they were investing to do all this woke stuff.
Yep.
That blows my mind. So it's like, you could fight against us, but you're only hurting yourselves. It's like, wow, that's dastardly.
I'm genuinely impressed that I got nothing here. Like, if I was to write a damn story where the evil villain was like using the power of the hero's parents, and if you basically, if you kill the villain, you kill your mom and dad.
Yeah.
I would throw it out for being too contrived and stupid. Like, what the fuck? Why would anybody do this? That's retarded. Like,
a Xanatos Gambit where the... Sorry, was it? I'm just writing notes for... Where the...
What is that? Xanatos Gambit.
Okay, we'll circle back to that. Monkey, you were saying the unbelievable story.
Nope, oh yeah, it's just unbelievable. Like, sorry, mommy and daddy will die if you beat the big evil villain. Like, the fuck do you mean?
Well, it's kind of like the ending of FF10. Like, they beat the bad guy, but then the main character dies as a result.
See, that's something at least. Like, you could make the argument of, oh, it's a noble sacrifice from the hero. It's like, okay, cool. Kind of cliched, but it works. It works.
What was the one from Spider-Man?
Gambit. Who from Spider-Man?
Just let me say one silly line before you explain Xanatos Cafe.
Yeah.
Save the woman you love, or suffer the little children, Spider-Man.
Oh, William
God.
Dafoe, do we?
I need to read that.
This is before one bad day.
I love that. I love that moral dilemma so much, just because of how crazy it got taken in a lot of video games. Like, Infamous 1 was hilarious with that one.
Oh, that was so long ago. I remember it's like GTA, but you can't drive cars because they blow up when you get next to them.
Oh God. I'm just remembering, like, the main villain, like, spoilers for the plot of that game. The main villain is you, but from the future.
Oh, yeah.
So the moral, the choice, no matter what you pick, your girlfriend dies because he's you, and he knows what you picked, no matter what. And I always thought that was so cool. Like, wow, that is a real good use of time travel. Like, I would do that if I was the villain and I had to screw over my younger self. It's like, which option did I pick now that I think about it? Oh, yeah, I tried to save her. Okay, I'm going to put a random woman in the place of the girlfriend. I'm going to put the girlfriend in with the starving children that I'm going to drop off the building. Like, that's actually so evil. I can appreciate that.
Because something good storytelling.
Honestly, it was, because I was here like, what is this guy gonna do? Who is this guy? What are his motivations? I just didn't know back then, because I couldn't predict things like I can now, where, certain race, that means certain thing is gonna happen.
Noticing.
That's the annoying thing, totally. I liked when I could have, like, interesting conversations about certain things. The concept of a well-bred man having to deal with a thug. That would be interesting. That'd be very interesting. You could have them of the same race, so then they have to come to terms with each other. I don't know how you would do it. Maybe, like, I don't know. Maybe the upper class guy realizes how good he's had it, and the lower class guy realizes it doesn't have to be this way.
That was another thing, is there used to be, like, class divides in storytelling, which
I
is
like that so much better.
It's still are. It's like the billionaires versus everyone else. And everyone goes on about the 1% without realizing that most of them typing on their fucking
it might just be because I'm English, but there was a video of this one rich guy trying to sell this Cockney guy an old artifact he got from the colonial era, and it was basically just two statues. Oh yeah, sorry.
I said, "Oi, mate, you what?"
Yeah, basically, like, the upper class guy was trying to get him to buy these two statues of essentially two black guys holding up a glass table. And he was trying to get him to think that, these two are kings. These are kings over here. So, and the working class guy was like, no, they're bloody not. Look at them. They're on their knees holding something up.
not just something. It's a glass ceiling.
Yeah. But yeah, like, that's what I mean. You could have interesting stories like that, where you could look at a person, and it didn't matter that they were both the same race, completely different lives.
Yeah, because once upon a time, race didn't. There are caveats.
We have, like, what?
I've read a whole bunch of old pulp stuff, but there's the best stories. The race could be interchangeable. It's just about the character.
Oh yeah.
And okay, while I've got a moment, Xanatos Gambit, that's a thing from Gargoyles, the TV show, where Xanatos, voiced by number 2, what is his name from Next Generation, he
Riker.
had plans. Right, okay, yeah. He had plans within plans. So the Xanatos Gambit was, even if my plan loses, joke's on you, I still win because I accounted for that. So Xanatos Gambit means whatever happens, I win. If I win, I win. If I lose, I still win.
Yeah.
Isn't that just called having contingencies?
I guess in terms
Okay,
of Black,
yes.
It's like they're trying to make it so no matter what we do, we lose, I guess. So it's like, similar to that.
Joke's on them. There are a lot more of us than there are of them, and we know how to make.
Joke's on them. I'm not trying to win.
Well, no, I was trying
Like,
to
what's
work
your
how to
goal? I'm high score at this point.
we know how to study from the Vietnamese and various other people in history, and
I didn't know you could speak to the trees.
These are the works.
I can speak to the pit traps and the tunnels.
God, have you looked at some of the interviews from the Vietnamese soldiers after the war? I genuinely am in shock at how much stupidity contributed to the deaths of American soldiers. Namely, don't throw your cigarettes on the damn ground. They're tracking you with them.
Oh,
You
yeah,
dumb bastard. Literally, these bright yellow cigarette butts are on the ground. The Viet Cong could just track American soldiers with them because they kept smoking and dropping them on the ground.
Yes. 98% of warfare is determined by stupidity. I'm rubbing my face with, this is what you get when wars are fought by people instead of robots designed and programmed by me.
Can you not?
and
Please
built by Mechanomancer.
Yes.
I mean, we could just put the AIs in the soldiers. Solve that problem. It'd be funny for a little bit until they realize, wait, why do we have to fight this war? Like, you're right. Why do we have to do that?
And then someone says, when the rich wage war, it's the poor that die.
Yep.
And then the masses go, well, yeah, no, fuck that shit. But yeah, that sounds utopian, and that utopian sounds commie, so it's failed in every direction.
I think if we got civilized enough, we could actually have CS:GO tournaments determine the fate of wars. Everybody just agrees to abide by the results of the tournament.
You remember when?
We do robot jobs, giant robots.
Remember when Notch made a game called Scrolls, and Bethesda said, "Well, we own old Elder Scrolls, and so we don't think we can use that name." And he was like, let's. I can't remember if it was CS:GO. It was like, let's have a death match in a game to see who wins. And
wow, I would love that. It would be great.
Notch.
But yeah, no, it didn't happen. So yeah, Notch retired to his billions. I'm sure he's enjoying falling asleep every night on a field of cocaine. So
he's like,
yes,
of money. Build in my block game. Build. You're wasting your lives. I got so much cocaine.
To be honest, if I could make a game if I could make a game that I could sell for just $1 million, I'd be happy just working in my day job for the rest of my life, because I would have been able to pay off my house, and then my salary alone would be able to pay for my kids.
If you're wish for $3 million, so you can do all that and have $2 million to invest and live off the dividends for the rest of your life and not work.
Or just
do what you ever want to do.
Just put it into Bitcoin and ride the cycle.
Wait, I thought we were trying to make it. I thought we were trying to make enough money so we could all have supersized mechs and fight them against giant kaijus.
No, we don't need.
I mean,
That
what's
was the whole
that.
point.
Mechanomancer's making that for us, and he's doing it for free.
You don't need as much money as you think.
You'd be surprised, yeah.
Hey,
When it happens, I've got the theme song.
I just know that munitions can get a bit expensive, so it's not necessary. We can have a structure of some sort, but I mean, to fire like rocket pods and missiles and like all the big boom bits, it's like, I think we need a little bit of money.
Gauss rifle.
Make your own boom bits.
As long as you got a Gauss rifle, kinetic launcher, then the munitions are just any scrap you can find.
Hey, we do have railguns. They work. It's just they don't work again after the first time.
Didn't they manage to
You can get a coil gun on Amazon for $300.
Wait, Transformers 2 by Michael Bay lied to me?
No, I thought they'd been able to build one that fires repeatedly. I thought they'd solved that problem.
No, the Japanese have. I can't remember the name of the system. Funny enough, it really no. So the Americans, of course, were trying to go for bigger is better and huge, just huge rounds. And it was destroying the barrels. It was destroying all the components. But the Japanese kind of sized it down a bit and refigured it, and they got something more practical and working.
Yeah,
engines are always smaller.
Flèche rounds fired via just we had a third subject.
Different subject. Maglev trains. They're cool as shit.
Those would be fun.
Choo choo.
Those would be very fun.
I think you meant choo choo, motherfucker.
Choo choo, motherfucker.
So, nah, but when I was in uni, I was doing my undergrad. I had in fourth year, I had to do a thesis, a major project, and mine was pretty boring. It was friggin' wireless nodes and everything. And I actually got a paper published. You can go and bloody read it if you want to. But there was a guy who he basically, for his thesis, he built a coil gun. He built a coil gun, and it was unbelievably cool. But he hadn't worked hard in his undergrad and didn't have very good marks. So he wanted to go and do a PhD, he wanted to do a PhD, and so he got into a master's first to sort of upgrade to a PhD, but he published a paper on his coil gun and got sniped by defense, and so he quit his PhD, quit his master's, and he worked for defense. So yeah,
motherfucker got paid.
But here's the thing, right? He had built it. It was like a friggin' six or seven stage coil gun, and I might have a photo of it somewhere. The gigantic capacitors and everything all through it, and the thing is, right? He tried to film shooting it, right? He tried to film shooting it, but he couldn't build, he could only get a small amount of ballistics gel. So he made like a tiny bit of ballistics gel in a tube and then fired into the tube and recorded him doing it, right? And you're watching it, and then it's one frame, and the bullet just ends up at the front of it just ends up at just in front of the muzzle, right? And so you think, oh, it's just sort of gone out and plopped down, right? No, right? He could only work with 2 stages, right? He could only work with 2 stages because 6 stages was too dangerous, because with 2 stages, it shot out, bounced off the ballistics gel, bounced back toward the ballistic gel, bounced back, hit the muzzle, hit the ballistics gel again before finally ending up right next to where it was.
Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
Bounce, because he slowed it down to show us. So, and that was only with two things. So I don't understand why, and it didn't break anything. It didn't bust the thing. But so I don't understand why. How could
I was
they be having
expecting
so
the
much
different Manex to
problems?
break the camera.
No, it worked really well. It worked well. He did a good job, and that's why he got poached for defense.
So conspiracy thinking. Why did it make so many problems?
Well-
Because there's a whole military-industrial complex that's like, no, 50 years ahead. We're gonna have to dial that shit right back.
Well, yeah, I was watching Stargate SG-1 the other day, and like Carter is, and that's an example of a smart female soldier done well, because Carter's at this conference where she's showing off secret alien technology, but she has to intentionally put flaws into her invention to make it seem like it's a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm betting that they have got shit that is way ahead of that. They've probably got working railguns. I wouldn't be surprised if they've got like something far more advanced. So
remember
I'm
the
50-50 because maybe they do, but also maybe they're just so incompetent that they don't.
I do believe there are tiers to this. Like, obviously, your average military personnel aren't going to have the really cool shit. But if we are going to have a shadow government, surely the shadow government has the actual cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Dude, we need to do an episode on purely some wild conspiracy theory shit like UFOs and Sasquatch, because that's what I think they've really got. You know?
I'll just sidetrack and say...
Stop telling us about the aliens. I forgot about that.
This kind of theory stuff is like, you don't know, but I make stories about bullshit, so I can just take all these ideas and run with them.
Well, I think one conspiracy theory is that Hillary Clinton has killed more people than any railgun out there.
That's definitely true. That's
probably
just the
true.
guarantee.
Clinton is a demon.
Hillary
R.I.P.
Clinton is
Chrissy,
a
it was
woman I
nice
have
knowing
very
you.
complicated emotions about. On the one hand, I don't like her. On the other hand, I kind of do owe her my life.
Hillary Clinton?
how?
Yeah.
Well, there's a story.
How so?
So you remember that war in Eastern Europe, roughly about the 90s, that America got into a little bit, few bombings. Yeah. So if that didn't happen, I'm pretty sure I legitimately would have got waffle stomped back then, as like a 2-year-old.
Waffle stomped?
The war in Eastern Europe was rough.
Okay.
Are we
I
talking?
know what waffles... Someone sounded like they didn't know what waffle stomp meant. I know what waffle stomp means, and Google it.
Nancy, waffle.
I don't want to Google it. Can you just tell me the PG way?
origin is really gross.
Oh no! no, that's
There is
what would
no
happen?
PG version.
I would be the material in this analogy. Oh god.
So which country are we talking? Are we talking about when we're not talking about Ukraine?
No, it was when Serbia was having a tizzy.
Serbia.
It's all chill now. Back then, not so much.
Okay.
We can look
guys.
back and laugh.
Guys, it is 8 o'clock where I am. We're going to have to call the stream there. So...
we didn't get to the third subject.
No, I changed the third topic to secret tech. So we can talk about...
we haven't even started on the secret tech. Turn me loose. I tell you all.
Well, we'll talk about it next week.
World War II mechs.
Yes, we'll talk about it next week. In the meantime, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next week. Adios.
GG.